everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is 11 AM in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. You think I could remember it by now? Remember, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up with the premiere event streams on a Friday and Saturday at 2 PM Pacific time in the US, which is 8 AM in Australia or 10 PM if you are in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well and you had a good weekend. Sniper Girl says 2 minutes, wake me when it starts. Oh, you're so demanding, Sniper Girl. It's good to see you. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope everything's still good with your mum. I hope she's recovering well. So I hope you guys and girls had a good weekend. We are going to try to finish the modelling stage of this Temple of the Winds model we're creating in 3D Studio Max. We're up to the last stage of the modelling, which is just doing a little bit of detailing in ZBrush. That's what we're going to be doing right now. And then we're going to jump into doing some texturing in Substance Painter and Mari a bit later on. So my plan is basically to do the base texturing in Painter, Substance Painter, and then a few different bits of the assets I might take into Mari and just overpaint a little bit, just to give them a little bit more character. Sniper Girl says, feeling sick today? Will live? You? No, I'm good. Finally getting over this heat cold that I caught when they sent me out to the middle of nowhere, so that's good, health-wise. I'm not too bad. The cough is only occasional now. But it's not good to hear that you're feeling sick, Sniper Girl. I hope you feel better soon. It's all that stress. It's all the stress of happening, of the whole situation with your mum and stuff. You don't realise when you're stressed that you're stressed, and it's not until things start to calm down that your body's... Ironically, when you feel less stressed is when you start to feel a bit sick or when you can get sick. It's weird. You think that when your body is stressed you get sick, but you tend to work on this stress level. This is me anyway. I work on this stress level, so I'm fine, and as soon as the stress level starts to drop a little bit, I get sick. Sniper Girl says, yeah, maybe. So yeah, but that's what I found with myself anyway. Anyway, what are we? Yes, the studio, it's been pretty busy. It's going to keep being busy now for me until the end of the year, which is okay. Just going to grab a quick drink, guys. That's better. We're just checking everything. OBS is in the green. My mic is not muted. Everything looks good. All right. And I'm actually working off my new NBN connection today. So they did come on Friday and did the installation, which was good. So hopefully there'll be no more dropouts of the stream. We'll see how we go. Never say never, hey? Sniper Girl says, didn't really do any design work today. Played with Metashape a bit with a collection of images that I found. Hoping I feel better tomorrow so I can go out and take a lot of pics. Well, good to hear. Anyone that's not familiar with Metashape, it's made by Agisoft or Agisoft, however you want to pronounce their name. They're a Russian company. It used to be called Photoscan and now it's called Metashape. And it's very good software. Sniper Girl says, oh nice, so better net. Yes, that's right, better net. Much better net. Hopefully more stable net. We'll see how we go, but it's been stable. It was installed on Friday and I used it all over the weekend to VPN into the studio and stuff and didn't have a problem. And so far OBS is all in the green with no drop frame, so we should be good, fingers crossed. And it's unlimited bandwidth, which is good because my previous net connection, I had a bandwidth limit, and once that limit was reached, unlike most other people's internet where they slow you down, they cut me off. So if I went over my allowance of gigabytes per month, then they just cut my connection. Whereas now the new connection is unlimited, so that will help a lot. So I had to be incredibly careful when I was doing stuff for work as to how many bandwidth and gigabits I was sending over the network. I had to go into work a bit more. Shock horror. You guys know I love working from home, and I have to go into work anyway because there are meetings and stuff, but I had to go in more. Sniper Girl says, no clue how to pronounce their name. Yeah, I don't know either. Agisoft, Agisoft. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I don't know. Wacom, Wacom, the tablet. I used to call it Wacom, but then I heard people say Wacom, and I don't know. Who knows? As long as people know what you're talking about, it doesn't really matter. ID software, id software, you know. Oh, well. So, what are we doing? Oh, yes. Smurfberry Barbecue, it's good to see you, Smurfberry. Did you have a good weekend? Smurfberry says, I refuse to call them Wacom tablets. Well, you call them what you want, Smurfberry. You call them Wacom if you want. Wacom, I think, is probably easier to remember. It's the whole GIF thing. People always argue over the pronouncement of GIF or JIF, which is J-I-F. I call it GIF. Some people call it GIF. But I believe the person that invented it said it should be called GIF. I think I read that somewhere. Oh, here we go. Just let me fix this up. Man, Firefox, you're going to be the end of me. Oh, because Firefox wants to install an update. What a surprise. Oh, man, that software, I swear to God, it updates itself more often than I change my underwear. It's just insane. Come on, Firefox, stop it. Your weekend was meh? Was eh? Sniper Girl says Metashape there. Can pronounce that correctly. Who cares about the company name? That's right, Metashape is all that matters. Why was your weekend eh? Sniper Girl says to Smurfberry, sorry to hear that. Smurfberry says, the guy who invented the format says GIF. That's right. And he's entitled to his opinion and he's wrong. Smurfberry, Smurfberry. Smurfberry says, I spent the weekend trying to code up PHP extension for MediaWiki, and I'm not a programmer, so it was awful and it doesn't work. Oh, Smurfberry. Hugs for Smurfberry. I love PHP. I think PHP is a wonderful scripting language. I hate Java. I like JavaScript. I hate Java, which draws the ire of a friend of mine who is a Java programmer. He loves it. I love PHP. He hates PHP. Go figure. PHP is a strict language now, so you do have to be very careful. When PHP was first invented, it wasn't strict, so you could get away with a lot more. But for the last 3 or 4 years now, it's become strict, so you got to watch your coding. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? It's good to see you. I hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. Sniper Girl says, thing about dialect is that the way we pronounce words tends to shift and change. That's true. Let me guess, is this Firefox again? Oh yes, it's Firefox again. What a surprise. Firefox is going to send me off the wall. Smurfberry says that PHP is evil. Smurfberry. Sniper Girl says hi to Sniper Echo. Sniper Echo says hi, Smurfberry and Sniper Girl. Everybody's saying hello to everybody else. Do remember, guys and girls, if you've got any questions, anything you're not sure about, please feel free to pop into chat and ask me. If I can help in any way, I'm happy to try. If you just want to pop in like these guys and girls and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that is completely fine. Many times I watch guys and girls streaming on Twitch and I don't want to talk to anyone in chat. I just want to watch. Call me antisocial. Smurfberry says, like, what I'm wanting to do is add a word count function to MediaWiki because it doesn't have one. Okay, well, it shouldn't be too hard. You can probably even find examples already written online, Smurfberry. There are a lot of websites that give you code snippets. You could probably modify, if one hasn't already been written, which would surprise me. You could modify something else that does a similar thing. I'm sure you can find that online. Even guys that do programming professionally for their career, and I know this because I have a lot of friends that are programmers, they use code snippets all the time to solve a problem that they're working on, or whatever they're doing at the time. So don't think that by using a code snippet you're cheating in any way. Even the pros do it. Just to save time. Where are we? What are we doing? What's my name? Where am I? Who am I? Again, I'm just keeping an eye on OBS. But yes, note the new connection. Love the new NBN connection. Very nice. No problems so far, but we'll see how we go. Sniper Girl says, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's right. Or if you're not cheating, you're not doing it right. I probably wouldn't go that far, but actually I watched an interesting talk by some young guy. I don't know who he was. I don't know who he worked for even. It was in my YouTube recommended list. You know how YouTube give you recommended videos? He was an artist and a 3D guy. And he was talking about, what was he talking about? He was saying about how you should present yourself, how you should do your portfolio, all the stuff I've spoken about before on stream as well. And one of the points, he had 10 points, and one of them was about stealing other people's work. And his opinion was you should always steal other people's work. And what I mean by that, though, let me clarify. You should take people's ideas and make them your own. So don't steal people's work, as in grab something from the internet and say you made it, but take an idea from someone else and modify it to make it your own, which is cool. But you've got to be incredibly careful doing that. I mean, a lot of the points he was talking about I didn't agree with in his 10-point thingy talk. He was on stage. I don't even know where. It might have been a TED talk or something. But you've got to be careful if you start appropriating ideas from other people, because even those ideas can be a copyright. So just be careful. And some of the other talking points that he had were completely wrong in my opinion anyway. I can't for the life of me remember exactly what they all were, because once I saw him start to talk about these different 10 points and how I thought how wrong they were, I stopped sort of listening. Just skimmed through his video very quickly. Smoker says, I had to AFK for like 20 seconds and missed everything you said about code snippets to mine. Yeah, no, look online for code snippets. You will find, I'm pretty sure, you'll already find somebody has written a snippet of code to do what you want to do. And if they haven't, you'll be able to modify something that does something similar much more easily than trying to create it on your own. And don't think that doing it is cheating, because like I said, all of the programmers that I know that work in business for companies, big companies, they do it. They use snippets to speed up their workflow. You don't have to do any attribution. It's only a code snippet. People put them online to help people out. I mean, if you're stealing, huge, if it's only a snippet, it's fine. If it's more than a snippet, then you should give credit to the program. Isutha, it's good to see you, Isutha. How are you? I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're well. And hey, back to you. Sniper Girl says, okay, means you said that going to steal all your work from your portfolio and add to mine. Sniper Echo says, this channel will be banned for promoting piracy. No one's promoting piracy. No. Isutha says, all artists steal actually, because ideas come from nature. Shiva says, so all steal from nature as they see things in nature and in the world and create stuff based on shapes and stuff they see. Well, that is true. That is true. I think the guy that I saw giving this talk though was not talking about it like that though, but saying, you should steal more of other people's stuff, ideas, stuff, and reproduce it to make it your own. I don't agree with that. Sure, get inspiration from other people's work, but don't reproduce other people's work and call it your own. That's not right. There's no creativity in that. Where's the fun in doing that anyway? Smurpery says nobody has done this before. Are you sure? But what I'm saying, Smurpery, is even if you can't find somebody who's done exactly what you want, look for a code snippet example of something else that's similar to what you want to do. I'm sure there will be some out there. So it might not be, you might not just be able to copy and paste as is, but you should be able to find a snippet of code that does something similar and modify that. That'll be easier for you to work with than trying to work it all out from scratch. Sniper says, have you guys seen my work over on phildoes3d.com? You're being cheeky, Sniper, okay? You haven't posted any new work. I've got the Discord open now. Hey, I see what you're talking about. My website. You're claiming my website for your own. Ah, that's right. That's sniperecho.phildoes3d.com. Smurper says to Sniper, I love that house in the hollow you did. Sniper Girl says, yeah, your work's amazing. Isita says, I usually steal money because they don't need it. Sniper Echo says, all that took me years, guys. Isita, and sometimes when I'm hungry, I steal sandwiches. Well, if you're hungry, you got to eat, don't you, dude? Although I don't advocate stealing anything, whether it's software, sandwiches, other people's work. Sniper Girl says, really took me seconds. And Sniper Echo says, still haven't worked up the courage to do a kitchen though. Or a toilet. You haven't done a toilet either, have you, Sniper Echo? Or a bedroom. Haven't done a bedroom yet either. No, a bit slack there. Sniper Echo. We are going to be jumping into ZBrush. Oh, ZBrush, shock horror. Because we have to finish up those stairs. We really, really do. God, my eyes, are they getting worse? It's not my eyes, it's the computer screens. Sniper Girl says kitchens can be fun. They can be fun. Bathrooms can be fun. You might, when you start working, I work in ArchViz for anyone watching who doesn't know who I am and what I do. I used to work in games development, then I worked in film, and now I work in ArchViz. I haven't done that spiel for a while, have I, guys and girls? But when you start working in an ArchViz studio, generally you tend to do a lot of bathrooms. Yeah, they tend to get you to do a lot of bathrooms, at least initially. Sniper says, harsh criticism, but so true, I guess. That's right. Take that criticism. So you got to pull your finger out, Sniper Echo, and put a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom in that house in the hollow you did. And Nightbot spamming my links as usual. Isutha says, and actually I started last Friday my own company. Woo! Well, woohoo, Isutha. What's your company? Tell us. Give us the scoop. What's it called? First of all, what's the name of the company? And what are you doing with it? Actually, did you post in Discord talking about email addresses? I think, was that you? Am I being blonde? I shouldn't say that. That's insulting to blonde people. Was it you that was talking about email addresses and stuff in Discord? Remember, guys and girls, to join the Discord channel if you have not already. There's the link I've just popped in chat. If you're watching me, join the Phildoes3d Discord server, because only subs can post links in Twitch chat, but everyone can post links on Discord. There's a gallery section where you can show off your work. There's a folio and demo reels chat channel where you can post links to your demo reels, your art station, all that sort of stuff. I encourage you guys to do that. And Sniper and I were talking about another channel I'm going to set up shortly, which will be like a tutorials channel. So that's coming soon. I think it's a great idea, by the way, Sniper Echo. I really love it. Love the idea. I think it's great. Because I know people like Angel, he posts interesting stuff in the Discord because he can't watch me all the time because he's working, I think, when I stream. He's in Spain. But he always posts really interesting tutorials and links and stuff in the Discord. So all that stuff should go in a dedicated channel so it's easier to find. I've been a bit negligent on my Discord organization. Sniper Girl says, don't need a bathroom. I mean, look at Resident Evil 2. Took 11 years for the police station to finally get a bathroom. Well, there you go. If it's okay for Resident Evil 2, it's okay for me and you, Sniper Echo. Sniper Echo says, wow, blonde, another thing I have to fix. I know, I'm terrible. Terrible, Philip. You're terrible. And it is insulting. I should not have said that. Sniper Girl says, yeah, tutorial section would be nice. Have a lot of links that I can pass out. Yeah, I think a tutorial section is a good idea. Sniper Echo's idea, so all praise to Sniper Echo for coming up with it. Yeah, I think it's a great idea because it'll make finding that sort of stuff much easier. All you guys and girls post really, really interesting stuff to the Discord, and which I appreciate very much for everyone to look at. So if we put it in its own dedicated spot, then it'll make things much, much better for everyone. Isuta says the company name is Verts 3D Studios. What I do is using Faro laser scan, to scan apartments and buildings. From those point clouds, I do 3D models in Houdini. Then I get into 3D Studio Max and export out as DWG file format. DWG I can get into AutoCAD, where I add measurements and get accurate floor plans that clients want. Sounds cool. So you're using a Verts 3D Studios, a Faro laser scanner. Okay, Asuta says I do 2D and 3D animations and renders plus small amount of visual effects stuff. Sounds cool. It does sound awesome, as Sniper Echo says. Sounds very cool. Which is, we don't tend to do a lot of laser scanning at the studio. We have the equipment, but we don't tend to do it a lot. But that's sort of like what I do at the studio. I do photogrammetry of the outside of a building. Generally, it's period buildings because then the architects have been asked to create a modern extension, but because we do a lot of work for government departments and stuff, and they like to set up offices in period buildings. So, a couple of 100-year-old buildings, which means they can't tear them down because they're period. They're heritage listed. So the architects, though, because the buildings were designed hundreds of years ago, the interiors aren't set up for modern offices, so they generally build an extension onto the back of the facade. So my job is to sort of turn the facade into photogrammetry so that when the architects design the back of it, we can then model up the back of it and do renders with the photogrammetry facade attached. So it sounds like a cool idea what you're doing. And the studio does very well out of it, so I'm sure your company will do well too. I should start my own company, shouldn't I, guys? I see this says, I'm starting also again with photogrammetry drone usage. Yeah, we use drones. We generally use drones. We still use DSLR cameras as well, but we use drones a lot too. Sniper says, no, not my idea. This will backfire like the house 3 years later, and it's just dumb. Sniper says, I wash my hands of that idea. Well, I'm not going to let you. You're not going to be able to wash your hands of that idea. I'm going to make you. Mercury says, that's the cool kind of job I'd like to have. Yeah, well, I can't see why you couldn't have that sort of job. I'm sure that there are studios, Smurfberry in the US particularly, that would be doing that sort of work. Sniper Girl says, wow, that's cool. Isuta says, I actually have already company as a client. Cool. Well, you're on your way then if you've already got a company that's, if you've already got a client. Sniper Girl says to Sniper Echo, still going to blame you, and so am I. Sutha says, but I'm trying to get better in 3D and find. Also, studio job as my company is a one-man army studio. Well, everyone when they first start up a business, that's generally the way everyone works. It's a one-man studio, so you wear many hats in the company until you can start getting a little bit more income and employing some people. So learning 3D is a good thing, regardless of whether it's for your company or just because you enjoy doing it, because you want to make art and stuff, or you just want to play around in 3D. You guys and girls know that's why what I'm always telling you on Twitch. I want you guys to do 3D. It's fun. Even if you don't want to do it for a job, it's a fun thing to do. You can have a creative outlet. It's good therapy. It is, trust me. And it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Sniper Echo says the Sniper Girl, it could be your idea. Sniper Girl says, I suit her well. If you end up getting to the point of hiring people, please let me know. Sniper Girl says, yeah, I want to do it as a job. Be amazing. Everybody wants to do it. There's no reason you guys and girls can't do what you want to do in 3D. There's a lot of work for 3D. It's only going to get bigger in the future because of AR and VR and just the way the world is going now. So it's there's no reason you guys and girls can't get work in a studio as a 3D person, if that's what you want. All it takes is practice. And that was one of the other points, just getting back to that guy I was talking about that gave that YouTube talk. He said it's not about practice, or he used to say to people, practice to get better. What did he say? What was his response now? Because he said that wasn't what he said anymore. He said, I can't remember what he said. Most of it was crap. I'm sorry, but it was crap. No, practice. That's the best advice anyone can give you, is just the longer you do something, the better you're going to get at it. That's just common sense. You know, anyone that tells you differently is living in La La Land. Oh, that's right. He said he was talking about the amount of hours that people put into doing their stuff as practice. Like, you could say to yourself, well, I want to devote 5 hours a week doing 3D to get better. And he said, he was given an example of saying, oh, this person says, I'm going to do 5 hours this week on Saturday. And he was saying that people generally, when they say that they're going to do that sort of thing, it creates a mental block for them or some rubbish like that, where they either will procrastinate and not do it, or they won't work for the full 5 hours, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how he thinks people should organise themselves to work, but yeah. My advice to you is, when you've got some free time, play around in 3D. It's as simple as that. You don't have to make it complicated. This guy was trying to make things more complicated than they really were. I'm glad I can't remember his name because I don't want to call him out. Sniper Girl says, I think once I get the vehicle scene done and learn photogrammetry, that I'll have a much better chance of getting a job. And photogrammetry is the way of the future. The way of the future. It's used in everything from film to ArchViz now to games. Even games are doing it. Smepri says that YouTube guy's response now is probably nepotism. Probably. Sutha says somehow always those who archive somewhere, they start to speak how to achieve something. They like to blabber about all that stuff. But overall, it's one thing is practice. Painful part is that sometimes you get stuck in some point. That is true. YouTube is a great, apart from this guy's YouTube video, of course, is a great place to find tutorials and stuff if you get stuck. And remember, if you do get stuck on something in 3D, jump on the Discord server, the Build Us 3D one, or one of the other 3D Discord servers, I'm sure. But certainly on Build Us 3D, everybody's very helpful, and I jump in and out of Discord when I'm not streaming. So you can always ask questions there as well. But you are correct. So yeah, my advice to this, about what this guy was saying, was practice when you can. Do it when you feel like you want to do it. If you force yourself to do something, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to do good work. So if you're not feeling it, don't do it. That's my advice. But try to at least do a few hours a week, because you're not going to get better unless you do it. Sniper says that YouTube guy was called Sniper Echo. Also, I don't think so. I don't think it was Sniper Echo. Ishuta says, for example, I got stuck when my Kerrigan model skin shader displacement did not work after 2 weeks. I discovered that TIFF images do not support negative values. Well, there you go. There are all these little gotchas in 3D that you would never think to look at, particularly game engines, and particular game engines. They all have these little quirks that you wouldn't think could be a problem, but do turn out to be a problem. And that's a good one there that Isutha just spoke about. Niper Girl says, no, people aren't allowed to cheat on you with other Discord servers. That's right. You must only go to the Phil Does 3D Discord server. You must never watch anyone else on Twitch but me. I'm kidding. Isutha says, and that was not in any tutorial. Well, you should write it up. Make sure. Actually, what I do for these little quirks that you come across that stumped you for weeks and months on end. I have a little just a little notepad that I write all that sort of stuff down in. So if I'm ever doing a project and I run into the same problem, I can just look through my little notebook and see, that's what I have to do to get that to work. A good example was many years ago when I was using 3D Studio Max and I was baking normal maps from a high-res mesh to a low-res mesh. To get the cage to actually properly fit the model, they've probably fixed it in Max now, but back then you had to set the cage value to exactly 7. That was not documented anywhere. It was never spoken about online. But unless you set the cage to exactly 7, you wouldn't get a really good bake out. And that was just some weird quirk in Max. So all that sort of stuff I write down in a little notebook. Isutha says, my displacement textures were as TIFF files. Sniper says, Isutha, would be cool to see that process. Isutha says, boy, I remember those things, especially when I was scratching my hair out when I was stuck. Yeah, sometimes it can be good if you're stuck on something too, not to try and force your way through it, but to go away and tackle it the next day, like sleep on it. I usually find if I'm stuck, if I sleep on the problem, the next day I can work out a fix. Trying to soldier through is sometimes not the best way to go. Though you're bald, Isutha said. Bald, so no hair. Isutha says, but yeah, it was annoying to get stuck on that for weeks. I can imagine. I can't get sleep when I'm stuck. Oh, well, yeah, your mind can race, but I've found that too. If I'm up working till quite late, you certainly can have problems going to sleep. I'm just going to go through this. All I'm doing here is I'm just pushing down on the stairs a little bit through this middle section here, which is where people would walk up and down. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just smoothing down the edge of the step a little bit to make it look like it's been worn down from people standing on it as they go up the steps. I'm just going to do that through the middle here where people generally tend to walk. Because you'll notice when people go up steps, they don't tend to go up on the sides, particularly large steps. They go up the middle. Buying Pluto. Hi to you. It's good to see you. How are you, Buying Pluto? Did you have a good weekend? I hope you're well. Yeah, Sniper says to Isutha, if I remember right, Epic Games created a modified TIFF file format to get around that problem. Sniper Girl says, hi. Yes, how are you, Buying Pluto? Buying Pluto. What an interesting name. I like it. So yeah, I'm just going to go through here and in fact, I'm going to use the pen, the tablet for this. It'll make it a little bit easier. And I'm just going to smooth down a couple of these steps through the middle. In fact, I might just pull up a little bit on the intensity. Let me have a look here. What brush do I want? I'm just using the move tool here just to move. In fact, I'm just going to pull back on the size of the brush as well. No, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go up. I want to avoid moving the bottom ledge too much. That's basically, I'm just being careful that I don't move it down too much. Sniper Girl says, yeah, use the tablet. Would have to tell you, would have to yell at you if you didn't. Asutha says, this is my workflow. If I do scanning stuff, I use Faro Scanner. Then I assemble point clouds in program named Scene. Then I create auto mesh in Houdini using LiDAR system. Then I model new model in Houdini using LiDAR system created mesh as a reference model, point cloud auto mesh. Has too many polygons. Then I export the model as an FBX and load it into 3D Studio Max. In 3D Studio Max, I save out as DWG and it goes then into AutoCAD. Yep. We use AutoCAD in the studio all the time. So I'm just pulling down a little bit here and there on the step. You notice I'm sort of stair-stepping it too. I'm not pulling down here, pulling down here, pulling down here. I pull down here, then I move over and pull down here, and then I move over a little bit and pull down here. So there's no sort of pattern that I'm using, that I'm doing. Let's go back. Android Lust says, you have wonderful people. Hey, you wonderful person as well, Android Lust. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. We're all wonderful people. Sniper Girl says, hi. Isutha says, when I do creative stuff, I use ZBrush for sculpting, Modo for modeling, or Houdini. Then I do retopology in Houdini or Topogun. Then I do UVs in Unfold 3D. Good program. Then I texture in Mari, another good program, because it supports UDIMs, and then I take it all to Houdini where I do visual effects stuff and shaders. For rendering, I use Redshift. Again, I don't use Redshift, but I have heard good things about it. A couple of the people that pop into my channel use Redshift. They love it. You're saying, Sniper Girl says, have you seen Discord? What are you talking about, Sniper Girl? What's going on? I have Discord open here. I can see if anything's going on in Discord. Sniper Girl's asking, how is Topogun? Is it worth getting? So I see this as it's old, but it works. Is it Topogun 2? I actually don't use it. I haven't used it. Sniper Echo says, to Asutha, sounds really cool. I really like learning new workflows. Everybody should learn new things all the time. Asutha says, and for photogrammetry, I use Agisoft Photoscan, which is now called Metascan. So just to confuse everybody, it's no longer called Photoscan. It's now called Metascan. Going to pull back on the draw size. Again, I'm just smoothing out this edge here in the middle where people will be walking. We don't want a hard edge there like that. This is supposed to be stone. There won't be any hard edges like that. I don't mind that kink up there because that could be like where some stone has fallen out, or it could just be an imperfection in the stone itself. So that's okay. But we do want to make sure the top edge here is smooth through the middle anyway. Sniper Girl says, progress made on the foliage last week. I did see it, Sniper Girl. It looks amazing. The fern leaf you're talking about particularly, aren't you? She was, Sniper Girl was modelling up, sculpting up the fern leaf in ZBrush, and it does look very cool. Very nice. I'll just smooth this one out a little bit more. And again, I'm using a plugin for ZBrush here that allows me just to use my mouse to move and rotate, because I hate using these keys and crap. This crap ZBrush interface is such rubbish. I hate it so much that I have to. I use this plugin so I can use my mouse, so it behaves like a normal, like every other piece of 3D software where I can rotate using my mouse, or I can zoom using my mouse, or I can move using my mouse. Sniper Girl says, yeah, love how they changed the name for no reason. Yeah, I don't know what their reasoning was for changing the name from Photoscan to Metascan. I don't recall seeing anywhere, reading anything where they said why they did that. Yeah, very strange. Asutha says, I wonder what photogrammetry program is best for small details. Well, I did do a talk on this. I did a photogrammetry stream, a couple of them actually, about a month or two ago. They are on my YouTube channel. They're also under the videos section of my Twitch page here. Just go to the videos tab at the top of the page and you can view them there. Where I spoke about the differences between three major pieces of 3D software, of photogrammetry software, I should say. What's going on, Sniper Girl, here? And I see you're in the Discord server. Yeah, I spoke about context capture, which is Bentley software, Agisoft Metashape, and the one that I use, which is, how can I have which is, let me have a look. How can I forget the name of it? Which is Reality Capture. Reality Capture is the one that I use now. And it does fine details really well. But they all work really well. Reality Capture, though, is very fast. It's because it uses the GPU like a lot more than the other programs do. It does photogrammetry incredibly quickly. And I like that, because I like to be able to get a result quickly, and that way if I need to redo something, I can redo it quickly. Because sometimes with photogrammetry software, it can take hours on a large photo set to actually create the model, but Reality Capture does it incredibly fast. And as far as cost goes, it's about the middle of the two. So context capture, most expensive. We use it at the studio. It's about 10 grand. I wouldn't advise anyone use it unless you need it for your work, particularly. But Metascan is probably the best value. Reality Capture is about the middle. No, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive. Susan says, I want to, for example, if I take good pictures of a bug. Yeah, no, well, like I said, all any of them will be able to give you good results if you're doing pictures of a bug, like you're trying to do something small scale. They'll work just as well. Any piece of photogrammetry is only as good as the photos you take. So if you're taking rubbish photos, regardless of what software you're using, you're going to get a rubbish result. But if you're taking good photos, or at least decent photos, you won't have a problem with any of them. They'll all be very good. Sniper Girl says, thanks. Fern leaf, daisies, clover, ivy leaf, and a few shrooms. Sniper Girl says, I wish I could afford reality capture to own it, not rent, because you can rent it as well, yeah. But own it like 3k euros. What's going on over here? What are you complaining about? Windows background types. Excuse me, Windows is popping up something here. Wants my attention. Okay. Yeah, it can get expensive. But an Aggie Soft Photo Scan, or Metashape as it's now called, is very good software. You don't need anything else really. Like I said, it all boils down to the quality of your photos. If you take good photos, then all of them are going to give you a good result. If you don't take good photos, well then you're not going to get a good result, regardless of what program you use or how much money you spend on it. But having said that, taking good photos doesn't mean you need a really expensive DSLR. You can get acceptable quality from a camera that you use on your phone. So anything 8 megapixel or higher is okay. Of course, the better the camera, the better the photos. So anything high megapixel never hurts. But minimum 8 megapixel is what I would suggest. And also, to make sure you get good photos, take your photographs on an overcast day. Don't take them during cloudless, bright sunlight sort of days. Make sure it's overcast. You'll get the best pictures that way. And don't change the focal length of the camera. So don't do any zoom ins or anything like that. Keep the focal length standard for all of the photos, because photogrammetry needs to calculate your position in space from the photos, and if you're using a zoom lens or anything, it can't do that. So I must turn this autosave off. Where is that? Because I've just installed this 2019 version and I haven't gone through everything to turn stuff off yet. Let's turn it up to all the way. I hate quick saves in any program. They drive me insane. Oh, there is a free one that Sniper Echo mentioned. I think it's called, I don't want to say Lisa Soft or something. Actually, let me have a look. Because there is a free one. You don't have to spend any money. I haven't looked at it myself. Let me just pull this in. Anyone that's watching that doesn't know who I am or what I'm about can go to phildoes3d.com. You can read up about me there. You can look at my gallery. There's links to my art station and all that sort of stuff there. But this one, Alice Vision, that's the one. Alice, thank you, Android Lust. You beat me to it. But I will pop the link in Twitch chat for anyone that's interested. Alice Vision, it's completely free, so you don't have to spend any money to do photogrammetry. I see this says, yep, photos and lighting is key, cloudy day is best. That's exactly right. You got it in one. Android Lust says you remember because you plan on using it. Let us all know what it's like. I know Sniper Echo has played with it, I think. I still haven't played with it. I just really haven't had a chance. But I must. Oh, come on, stop this. Ooh, this program. Is there a way to completely disable this quick save crap? I've turned it up to the maximum duration of 600. I really hate being interrupted when I'm working with these little save dialogues and things popping up. Why does it not surprise me? Why does it not surprise me with ZBrush that I'm having that, you know, I can't turn up off a simple thing like quick save? Why does that not surprise me at all? Oh, okay. Smurfberry says the caveat is that it only works on NVIDIA GPUs. That's Alice Vision. I wasn't aware of that. I found that with quite a few programs actually. I think reality capture, I think you need an NVIDIA GPU to use that as well. I don't think it works on AMD cards yet. Change rest duration, Isutha says also. So should I push this up to the maximum as well? Let's see how that goes. But thank you, Pixologic, for making a simple thing like me turning off autosave such a trauma and such a chore. I had it at 1. Thank you, Isutha. I've changed that. Sniper Girl says, problem I'm finding with Ellis Vision is that they're not that good with tutorials online. Yeah, that can be a problem with anything free. It can be difficult to find tutorials to show you how to use it. It could be a good thing for someone to set up a YouTube channel if they come across software that is difficult to use and there aren't very many tutorials, and you want to set up a YouTube. That could be a good sort of thing to do. If you can make tutorials and you know how to use it. I guess it doesn't really help if you can't use it, does it? You're noticing here too, I'm smoothing the sides more than the middle. Why am I doing that? Because people have 2 feet. So foot, middle stays less worn than either side. So there is a method to my madness, there is. So I'm sort of like avoiding smoothing the very middle too much, but I'm smoothing more the either side of the middle. Asutha says, so in 1 minute, if you don't move your mouse, it will... Ah, okay. Thank you, Asutha. Well, I pushed it up to 600 now, so hopefully that'll solve that problem. Sniper Girl says, looked into it originally. We have 2 feet. That's right. You do have 2 feet. If you've got more than 2 feet, then I want to see a photo. If there are more than 2 feet, I want to see a photo. It was like that episode of Bob's Burgers where they went to see a goat that had 2 buttholes. They were all intrigued by this goat with 2 butts. Smevery says, yes, I walk using my 2 human feet, just like all my human friends. Well, OBS has been nice and stable, so that's good. So far my connection's good, which it should be. Like I said, it's brand new NBN connection. I waited years because it was initially due to be installed in 2017. We're in 2019 now. It's taken 2 years for the government to get the NBN organised enough to start putting connections in where they should be. Asutha says I have 3 feet. I want to see a picture, or it's not true. You show me a picture of your 3 feet. Android Last says human. We are human. Asutha says all males have 3 feet. I thought you were talking about 3 legs. I thought all males had 3 legs. So rude. Ooh. Innuendo. Smurfberry says, sometimes we go to the walking store to get foot covers for our human feet, and there's no need for suspicion here. I've got a habit when I'm using my pen here of accidentally hitting the the rocker that's on beside the pen there, the little thing that you can assign keys to and stuff. I always tend to move my pen where I accidentally click that. Like my pen rotates around and I accidentally click that little rocker, little button. Now I might just go through my brushes and my damage brushes and see if there's any other sort of damage I want to put on these steps. So I've sort of smoothed out the middle a little bit because it's where people walk. I have just smoothed out the edge of the step a bit more through the middle. I'm just going to go through my brushes now and see if there are any other brushes, damage brushes, that might be cool. Oh, the Discord's going off. What's going on here? Oh, cool. That's for Sniper Echo, I believe. Sniper Girl has popped in a link to a free pack you can use, you can download from the UE4 Marketplace. They were talking about a script for, for IB meshes in UE4. So Sniper Echo, Sniper Girl has posted that link for you on the Discord server. That's the sort of thing we really need to put into that tutorials channel, which I will create over the next few days for the Discord server. Smoker says, I set my rocker buttons to be like my mouse buttons so I can do camera navigation in Maya using the tablet, just using a mouse. Cool. Yeah, no, particularly if you're using a Wacom, the software, you can program those little buttons to do whatever you want. There we go, you can see it there. Whether it's zooming in and out, any sort of macro you can assign to that little rocker. It's really handy. Asuta says I use a Razer Naga and Razer Nostromo. I use a Nostromo as well. How about that, Asuta? Yep, I've got a Razer Nostromo sitting right here on my desk. I use it for the stream though. I use it like a stream deck. Oh, let me just miss that. I've already got my Fetch TV. It arrived today. Haven't installed it yet though. Yeah, I use the Razer Nostromo as like a stream deck, so I have different buttons programmed for different things like my mic, my camera. That way I don't have to keep turning around to hit the second keyboard here, which is my stream machine. I can keep looking at you guys and use the Nostromo down here in front of me. It's a good little keypad. It's good for gaming too, which is why I originally bought it. I bought it for gaming, not to be used as a stream deck. Sutha says, I like those. More Android Lust says, ever since I updated my graphics drivers, my rocker buttons opens GeForce Experience. What a joke. Oh, well, I don't install GeForce Experience. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. So whenever I actually updated my NVIDIA drivers yesterday to 41967. I think they've released 42025 or something, but as a hotfix, but I never install hotfix drivers. So the latest official driver 41967 I installed yesterday, and I don't install GeForce Experience. I used to, but I don't anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with GeForce Experience. And if you want to use Ansel or use Shadowplay, you need to install it. But I use OBS to do my recordings, so I don't really need Shadowplay. And I don't take pictures inside my game, so I don't really understand the appeal of that. But hey, if that's what you like to do when you're gaming, taking pictures, fine. Or putting filters on your gameplay, fine. Shiva says, I'm planning to get the Orb Weaver, I think it was. Cool. Razer 1. It has more buttons. This has enough buttons for what I need. You know, with the Nostromo, you've got 3 different settings that you can switch between. So while you've only got, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 buttons, keys, you've got 3 different settings for those keys. So 14 by 3, which I find is plenty for me. But it's not mechanical, and I love my ducky mechanical keyboard. I would not give up the mechanical keyboard for all the money in the world. I would never go back to a membrane keyboard. Yuck. But the Nostromo was a membrane keyboard. But I don't type on it, so it's okay. The Hambone, it's good to see you, Hambone. My apologies that I'm a bit slow today. How are you, Hambone? Did you have a good weekend? Are you well? It's good to see you. What you been up to? Android Lost says, before that, the last time I installed my drivers was in 2017. Well, prior to me installing 4.19.67 yesterday, I was still rocking 3.99.24. I think the driver version was. So yeah, I'm also one of those people that don't tend to update their drivers a huge amount. Simply because I worry about breaking something. Because you guys know I need to use my my computer for work. If I install a new driver and it breaks something and I can't do any work, they're not going to be happy with me at the studio. I can't just say to them, I'm sorry, I can't get that project done for you because, you know, my NVIDIA drivers are bad. They'll say to me, why did you install bad drivers to begin with? They're not going to be sympathetic. You're pretty good. It has 21 buttons, actually, I see it says. Oh, yeah, I didn't count the ones at the front, I see. I just counted the actual keys themselves. Nitpicking. The scroll, click, and arrow buttons, thumb, alt button. Yep, that's true, but I didn't count those. Hambone says, pretty good weekend. Are you still thinking about making a game? Yes, I am, Hambone. I am still thinking about it, but we've got to finish off this 3D model for my store first before we jump back into doing the UE4 project. Give you guys a bit of a break because you watched me work on it for 12 months to do the cinematic. I thought, you know, we'll do something a bit different for a little while before we jump back into it again. But I am going to jump back into it. Yes, I am planning on turning it into a game. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how we go. It's a big job making a game. It really is. I often see people saying things like, oh, I'm going to make a game. Can't be that hard. Trust me, guys, it's hard. It can be very hard. But I'm not going to make a game that's anything outrageous. It's going to be a very simple type of game, exploring that environment, looking for a way to get out, basically, because you know the house in the hollow. Once you're there, you're trapped, so you got to find a way out. That'll be the underlying story for the game, and it'll probably be along the lines of Edith Finch. You know that game, Edith Finch? That type of game where it's more exploration type thing. There'll be maybe some jump scares. We'll see how we go. What we want when we come to start working on it. We can work all that out then. But yes, I am still planning on turning it into a game. Smurpery says, I set up the 2 side buttons on my mouse to sync control. I'm rereading my chat. Sniper Echo says, I found it helped speed up rendering. Sutha says, ability to swap profiles with 1 button. Android Lost says, creative drivers. To Sniper Echo. Hambone says, cool. Sniper Girl says, when I'm done with my van, I'll be glad to help. Well, cool. I'll be glad of the help because there's a lot of assets that need optimizing for that level. Because when I made them for the cinematic, I made it for a cinematic, but a game, it needs to be, some of the assets need to be optimized. Because you don't want somebody only with a supercomputer and, 10 Tesla GPUs to be able to run the thing. That would severely impact the ability for people to play the game. Mind you, I don't want to knock it down too much where it starts to look like crap. There's always that fine balance between optimization so it can run on as many people's graphics cards and too much where it can't run on anyone's graphics card. But you don't want to knock it down too much so it starts to affect the thing looking visually, so it starts to look like rubbish. Because it defeats the purpose then. If it looks like rubbish, people won't want to play it anyway. Hambone says, yeah, it's crazy. Sniper Girl says, yeah, making a game yourself is easy. It's easy as pulling out your own teeth. Sniper Echo says to Sniper Girl, we still have time to get that van ready for the swift extraction. Alrighty. Is it still saving? Why is it doing that? Explain. I've turned those settings off. Max duration 600. Reset duration 600. This is what I mean with this interface. It's just terrible. Is there anything else I'm missing here? I don't know. Handbone says, I look like rubbish, that's why no one wants to play. Handbone, I'm sure that's not true. That's very funny though. You get a gold star for that one. Sniper Girl says, yeah, true. Can see the end of the game running through the building itself and leaving. Thank you for the laugh, Handbone. That was great. That's right, brushes. We're going to look at brushes, aren't we? I have a few brushes here that I can load up. See what I mean? This is the other thing I hate about this program. Oh, wow. Wow. The fact that keeps disappearing if I don't hover over it quickly enough. Come on. No, these brushes are not mine, okay? Full disclosure, I did not make these brushes, I purchased them. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's look at Rock Crack 3. Okay, that's the Crack 3 there. I want to avoid making sculpting up any details that are too obvious, because we have to reuse these stairs around all 3 steps for the terrace. And if I sculpt up anything that's too unique, it's going to be noticed that it's being reused. So I just have to be careful of that. Checking those. My apologies here, guys. I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Okay, yes, so I just need to avoid using any brush that is too unique. Oh, that was the one I just loaded. Duh. Let's look at Rock Crack 2. That one's going to be too unique. Rock Crack 3. Let's have a look at Rock Crack 3. So let me get on the top viewport here. Yeah, again, this is another one that's going to be way too unique looking. But we might be able to get around it by pulling back on the intensity a little bit, so it's not quite so deep. It's a little bit more subtle. It's probably a little bit too subtle. I guess so long as we don't make it too big, it should be okay. So let's throw a couple of them in here and there. Pull back a little bit more on the intensity. Let's not make one that's off center so it's not straight, to make it look a little bit different. And maybe one up here in this corner. Sniper Girl says, did you get that brush set from Gumroad? Asking because it's similar to something I have. Yes, I did. It is from Gumroad. And it's a good general purpose rock crack sort of thing, texture set that the guy created. Is this 3 or 2? This is 3, okay. Let's have a look at 4. Let's see. Let us see. Okay, I'm going to pull back on the intensity on this one. Maybe we'll run a crack from this corner. Let's run another one just on the edge here and on the edge here. Again, I'm just doing just subtle little cracks because I don't want it to be obvious that that's what that we're going to be reusing the same asset over and over again. Might just do a couple of little cracks off of this one as well. Just going to undo that. I didn't get it in quite the right spot. Maybe one around about here. Maybe one through here. So yes, you can buy this set that I'm using from Gumroad. It's not very expensive either. It was really reasonably priced. Just looking over it to see where else a crack might look cool. Maybe up here. Sort of more towards the inner part of the step. Maybe the same here. Let's keep going. What other brushes do we have? Rock crack 4. What's rock damage? Rock damage. Let's start by just putting it down to see what it's doing. Okay. No, this one we probably won't be able to use, but we might be able to use it if we knock the intensity down really low. Too low. Still too low. It's not too bad, but what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to put it on the very edges of the steps here, so it looks more like the rock is cracking on the edge, because that makes more sense than having it in the middle. I'm just going to up the intensity a little bit more. Maybe just a couple here and there on the very corners of the step. Let's see what else we've got. Rock damage 2. Let's see what this one is. Okay. Let's knock back on the intensity. I'm placing these where there's already like rock damage. And blend over that crack a little bit. That damage there is probably a bit bigger than I should have put in. That's going to be noticeable. It may be noticeable. Then you have to be careful of that large damage piece through there. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, no, I don't particularly like that one. This one might be interesting. Let's knock back on the intensity. Got to be careful I don't go too nuts with these brushes. It doesn't need too much work. I'm sort of just passing my eye over the steps here to see areas that I haven't actually textured, put any brushes on that might look cool. Instead of putting brushes over the same areas, I'm just sort of like looking over the entire thing to see if it's balanced. Let's see what other brushes we have. That was number 4, I believe. No, you can't use that one. These are rocks, I think. Yeah, no, we don't want to put rocks on our steps. Okay, so we got that. I think it's probably all it really needs. We're going to do a lot of the detailing in the texturing anyway. So I just want to give the mesh a little bit of interest before we started texturing it up. So let's save this one. I'm going to be putting it in my Photogrammetry, pictures, botanical gardens, decoration, max model, line and stairs. And this is just going to be revision 2. Let's export the mesh. And that'll do, whatever name it wants to give it, that's fine. And now I'm going to take it into 3D Studio Max and we're going to do a poly reduction on it because it's about 11 million polys, I think, which is too high. Let me just jump into Max. And I am using Max 3D Studio Max 2020. It was released a few days ago. And I'm trialing it out at the moment as we speak. Sniper Girl says, do you happen to see the demo that Quixel did in the Unreal 4 engine? No. I have seen demos of Megascan stuff, if that's what you mean. So I've seen like camera shots where they're going through an environment, a forest environment, that sort of thing. And that does look very cool. So if that's what you're talking about, I have seen those. It's Quixel's the Megascan stuff, isn't it? So yeah, I've seen the videos of the ferns, mountains, or like a hillside I think was one of them as well. Oh, this is from Quixel themselves? Oh, okay. No, I'll check it out. I will check it out, Sniper Girl. Sniper Echo says, yeah, Max 2020, groundbreaking new features, I heard. Yeah. Now, credit... it's a little misleading with Max nowadays. A new version of Max comes out, and people start to bitch. This is Max 2020. One of the few new features is the chamfer modifier. So there have been all these reaction videos on YouTube saying, oh, thank you Autodesk for such a wonderful update. You've given us one new modifier, chamfer modifier. It was so worth the 12-month wait. Which is true, but you have to remember that Max is a subscription thing now. So Autodesk are constantly updating it throughout the year. So it's a little bit unfair to judge it based on just the initial release. Because Max 2019, for example, I mean, that throughout the year they included fluids and they improved particles. I mean, they did a lot. And the same will happen with Max 2020. Gone are the days where Autodesk with a new release would give you all the new features at once. Because it's subscription now, throughout the year they add features to it. So after a year it's a good update, but initially it's pretty rubbish. Okay, I'll check that out actually. We might even check it out on stream real quick. Sniper Girl, the link that you've just posted. The horror? What is this link? Is this suitable for work, Sniper Echo? What's this link you've just posted to Twitter? Let me have a look. But I'll do it off screen. off screen just in case. You never know with you. Okay, it's cool. So this is what true horror looks like. Keep your blender out of Max. Autodesk Blender. Oh, wow. They actually do talk about Blender in Max's release notes. What do they say about it? I can't actually remember now. That terrain looks amazing, Sniper Echo too, by the way. Yeah, there's something about Unity. It wasn't, yeah, it was Unity Blender. Well, no, it was Unity, my apologies. It wasn't Blender, it was Unity. They were talking about how Max is combines with Unity really well or something, I'm not sure. Something to do with exporting and importing models between Max and Unity. Should I click the link? Sniper Echo, you can trust Sniper's links, that's cool. Oddly enough, Sniper says several of the new features coming to Max are coming from Blender. Oh, there you go. That's got to be a compliment for Blender. If Autodesk are going to steal it for Max. Because yeah, they've published a roadmap as well of what they're planning for 3D Studio Max into the future. So you should, if you're a Max user, you should check that out as well. Even if you go to my Twitter page, I've got a link to the post from Autodesk there that has a link to the roadmap, so you can check it out through my Twitter. Like window in window, Sniper Echo says, cool. Let's just have a quick look at this this video that Sniper Girl has posted about Quixel. And I'm just going to mute the audio. What's the audio like? Sometimes the audio is terrible. Like they choose music that's horrible. This doesn't sound too bad. Actually, that's very nice, actually. Beautiful. Let me just full screen this. Sniper Girl says to me that's real time in engine, 60 frames per second. Yeah, it does. It looks great. But again, these are all photogrammetric assets, so I'm not surprised it looks great. It does look great. Because it's photogrammetry. This is why you guys should do photogrammetry, because you can get incredibly realistic and lifelike environments. It does, it looks great. Smurfbrew says, I think that's running in real time on a single 1080 Ti. Sniper Girl says, Smurfbrew, yep. Yeah, it is. It looks great. Yeah, certainly looks good. Yep, looks great. Doesn't surprise me though, like I said, they're using photogrammetry, so it's always going to look good with photogrammetry. But it's certainly amazing. Amazing video. Cool. Looks incredibly cool. Let's import those steps. Let me find our steps. Photogrammetry. Just a quick heads up, guys, too. I'm taking a week off over Easter, so that's in a couple of weeks' time. It is in my schedule on the Discord server. Under the stream schedule, you'll see the April 2 dates have been blocked out, which are, or haven't been blocked out. That's the week I'm taking off just for Easter. I just want to take a bit of a break over Easter where I'm not doing any work for anyone. Not for the studio, I'm not streaming, I'm just doing nothing. And I believe it was this one that it exported. But I'll remind you guys again the week before on stream here, so I will give you a heads up. And it's only going to be a week, just that week that Easter is on, which is I think around the 19th of April or 20th of April sort of thing. Sniper Girl says, this is why I'm going to learn photogrammetry myself. And Smoker says, yeah, they made a neat time lapse of that last shot with the sun moving across the sky. And Sniper Girl says, taking more time off, the horror? That's understandable, yeah. I need it, guys and girls. I work incredibly hard for the studio. Like, I work weekends. I don't generally get a break much. Which is why, you know, mid-year I have to go to my house in I was going to say the house on the hollow. I have to go to my cabin in the woods to de-stress where there's no technology. So yeah, I just decided I wanted to take... Normally I don't. Like in the last couple of years I've streamed and worked over Easter. But this year I decided I was going to take a break. You'll all still love me and be here when I come back, won't you? You won't abandon me. Smokeberry says, Phil knows how to escape from the hollow. That's right, I'm the only one that knows how to get out. Okay, so you see our steps are in the right spot here, so let me just, I'm just going to isolate them. I'm going to assign a plain colour. It'll just make it easier for us to see them. So there are steps. Now they're going to be way too high poly. In fact, yeah, they're going to be high poly. So I'm just going to turn on edged faces here. We'll see just how high poly they are, and they're so high poly you can't barely see the quads. So let us just do a bit of poly reduction. Sniper Girl says, yeah, he's borrowing my van to escape from the hollow. Smokeberry says, really? I thought you needed something like a hot tub time machine for that. So this is a mesh. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into an edit poly. And we'll just give Max a minute to work that out. Talking about Max 2020 though, there are improvements to the viewport speed, which I do notice. It is much more snappier, a little bit smoother when you're working with millions of polys in the viewport, that sort of thing, which is good. I haven't tried the new chamfer modifier yet. We must give that a test run soon. This amazing new chamfer modifier everyone's talking about. Sniper Echo says, yeah, take a break over the Easter, Phil. Relax. Legmog stream is about... Oh, wow. Wow. Is that black mark? Wow. You get the stink eye for that. Yes, Legmog stream is available. So, I can't watch Phil, I'll watch Legmog. Has he been streaming recently, actually? Speaking of Legmog? I haven't seen him go live on Twitch for a little while. Smokeberry says, real talk, is there an actual purpose to keeping edit mesh in Max in the year 2019? That's a very good question. Maybe only for legacy stuff, like for example, we just imported that OBJ from ZBrush. it imported as an edit mesh. Maybe that's a limitation with OBJ or the file format. Maybe it can only import it as a mesh, and that's the reason edit mesh still exists in Max. But aside from that, I would always recommend working in Edit Poly. Smoker says, hasn't everyone moved to Edit Poly? Yep. Is there anything that Edit Mesh does that Poly doesn't? No. Edit Mesh is incredibly restricted when you compare it to Edit Poly. Edit Poly is the way to go. Never use Edit Mesh unless you have to. Sniper says, I don't understand the models in Max. I haven't seen him in a few weeks. I haven't seen him either. I haven't seen him in a few weeks now. Maybe he's maybe that date went really well. Do you remember, guys and girls, he was talking about wanting to go on a date with that girl, or with some other girl that he'd come across. Maybe it's going really well, and he's just been busy dating. I know he's doing gym too. So Smurfberry says, I honestly don't understand the difference between mesh and poly. Well, poly was actually invented, I think, more for quads. Edit mesh was more for the old school tries. I think that's the reason poly sort of came about. I could be wrong. I haven't read it anywhere, but I think edit mesh was for triangles and edit poly was more for quads. But you can use quads on, you can use edit poly on triangulated meshes anyway, so there's no reason for edit mesh. Mercury says, or a succubus ate his life force. Well, that's true. So let's throw down the Pro Optimizer here. Again, for anyone that uses Max and gets confused, there are two optimizers in Max. One is called Optimize, two modifiers. One is called Optimize, the other one is called Pro Optimize. Optimize was the original optimization modifier. Pro Optimizer is the new one, and that's been in Max since about 2016, Max 2016 on. Use the Pro Optimizer, it's newer, it's better. It allows you to keep your textures if you want to. I don't think the old one could. So we're going to use the Pro Optimizer. Let's do a calculation here. I'm not going to keep textures because there are no textures. I'm not going to merge verts either or faces because that can slow it down. So I'm just going to do a calculate. Depending on how many polys are in the original mesh, this calculation stage can take Max a little while. So fair warning, when you're doing an optimization on a really high polygon mesh like this one, what it's doing, Max is doing at the moment, is it's looking at the mesh and it's calculating how many polygons it can reduce. It does all of that from 100% to 0%. That's why it takes so long. So that when you start scrubbing through how much you want to optimize, it does it in real time. But the only way it can do it in real time is if it does all the steps back down to 0, which is why it takes it a while here. So don't worry, Max has not crashed if you're doing this. It just takes it a little while. That's a good opportunity for us to talk, or for me to have a copy. And OBS is nice and stable. Oh, love the new NBN connection. Love it. Love it. And actually, the other thing I noticed too, the last few weeks since I've been going live, I've always had transcoding. So thank you, Twitch. That's great. I haven't had to restart the stream. Transcodings have been there from the get-go. I did read that Twitch are going to start allowing transcodings for a lot more streams because they've just introduced this new feature where Twitch partners can multi-stream together or something. I can't remember what they're calling it. It's only available to partners at the moment. So, 3 or 4 streamers can stream at the same time to one channel, I think, one Twitch channel type thing. And they had to make sure that transcoding was available so all those different streamers could stream together. So they're sort of like increasing it for everyone's stream, which is nice and good thing. Everyone loves the transcoding. Sniper Echo, I'll see you tomorrow. No problems. Thanks for being here. You have a good night, Sniper. So yeah. So we've had our transcoding, which is good. like normally we get it anyway because I start and stop the stream until we do, but I haven't had to do that. I knew this was going to take it a while because these stairs are about 11 million polys, so I had hoped maybe with the new version of 2020 here that it might have been a bit faster, but no. But trust me, as slow as this looks like it is, if you turn on merged vertices and merged faces, it's going to slow it right down. It's going to be even longer. So my advice is, if you do want to merge those things, do the initial optimization here without those two options turned on. Once you've optimized the mesh down, if you then want to clean up any verts or faces, then turn those two options on and recalculate again. But as far as Max 2020 goes, I like it. It's, like I said, the interface seems snappier. It can throw around a lot more polygons without slowing down, which is good. I haven't tested the new animation features where you can... Apparently the saving out an animation is quicker. You can save out directly to different file codecs now and make adjustments before you do the save out, which is nice. No problem, Smeppery. Anything else I've noticed? So now we're ready to go. Let's knock this back. So maybe we'll start at 50. Let's take 50% of the polygons away. So you see at the moment the mesh is 11 million it's over 11 million polygons. I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit so we can look at the mesh while we're doing this optimization. So let's knock it back. Let's go to 10%. And we've still got all our details at 10%. You're back? Good. Let's go to 5%. So we've already taken it down from 11 million polygons to, it looks like, 560,000. We've still got all our detail. Let's see if we can go any lower. Let's take it to 2%. Now we're starting to lose a little bit of our detail, but we've got it down to 220,000 polys, which see, we are starting to lose some detailing in here. Let's take it back up to 5%. And just wait for it to recalculate. I think we could probably afford to go down to 2%. I'm just going into clay mode here. Might make it easier for me to see our detailing. Let's knock it back to 2% and have a look. And I think we can probably get away with 2%. I don't think we can go any lower though. Otherwise we're going to start to lose some of the model, the sculpting we put into it. 220,000 though, that's not too bad. That should be fine. So I'm just going to collapse my stack now. That's going to bake that down to 220,000 polys, and I'm going to convert it back to an edit poly. And let's jump out of isolation mode. And let's remove the, I'm just going to rename this to Sculpted Step. Step Sculpt, that'll do. And open up this group so we can remove the old steps. And just leave the new one. Let's close our group. And now we just need to copy our stairs around to the other 3 steps. So I'm just going to make sure my pivot is centered. Just makes it easier for me to rotate and to move. We're doing a copy. Let's try turning angle snap on so it makes it. That's the wrong one. Let's angle snap there. Let's just move our stairs into position. And let us delete the old step. And close that group. And the last step. Let's open up the group and delete the old stairs and close up our group. What's going on? Don't you crash on me. Oh, I would have been pissed. Alright, let's not tempt fate. Let's do a quick save. I'm going to save this as a new revision because we've changed the steps. It's going to be revision. I'm going to make it 22. Revision 22. I'm going to jump up one. WB. What's WB, Sniper Girl? Now, of course, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to re-UV map these stairs as well. Because I didn't use gauze to do the export-import, I actually did it manually because I knew I was going to be installing Max 2020, so I didn't reinstall gauze, and I can't install gauze in Max 2020 because it's broken. Pixelogic need to release a new update to gauze. Vagrant, it's good to see you, Vagrant. How are you? It's good to see you, Vagrant. Did you have a good weekend? You well? Oh, WB is welcome back. Thank you, Samantha. It's good to see you, Vagrant. I hope you're well. So yes, we're going to have to re-UV map the steps because we sculpted them up and brought in a new mesh. So that means we need new UVs. Vagrant said I had a good night, ate too much, gonna have to roll around for a while. Oh wow. I know I try not to overeat, but I know what it's like when you do. That full belly feeling. A food baby, as Smurfberry would say. Let's send this to Unfold 3D, or Rhizome UV. It used to be called Unfold 3D, now it's called Rhizome UV. These companies changing the names of all their software, it gets so annoying. So confusing. Vagrant says it was pizza, and you know how pizza whispers sweet things. I do know those sweet, sweet pizza whispers. Actually, what am I going to have for lunch? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to have for lunch, actually. And we still kept all that detail, which is good. We reduced the poly count from 11 million to 220,000 and still kept a lot of the detail in our step. So that's cool. Sniper Girl says, they probably changed the name to confuse the hell out of people that don't normally use the programs. I don't know why they do it. You're probably right. Let's try this automated tool here first. An automated unwrap tool and see what it gets us. I have a feeling I'm probably going to need this one, the box mapping automatic unwrap, but we'll give the others a go. We'll see how they go. Because why not? We're not doing the work, the program's doing the unwrap for us, so let's unwrap. I already like where it's done the cuts along the edge of the step here. That's good, because that's where I would do the cuts as well. So this unwrap is already, just according to the cut lines here, is looking good. But you're right, they probably do just do it, Sniper Girl, just to confuse us all. And again, it's taking it just a little while because, you know, because it wants to. Let's do a pack. Looks like we might have a little bit of stretching happening. Vagrant says, I was watching some of your YouTube videos, very interesting. Now, speed tree, do you need a license to use the trees? Not once you've exported them. Like, you don't need a no, once you've made the trees, you don't need a license then to use them. You only need a license to make them. So, no. Short answer from long answer, no. Yeah, it is. So that's what I was saying when I was actually doing the House on the Hollow, and I was talking about speed tree, because I use speed tree for the forest and for the plants that I created for inside as well. You can subscribe to, I think you can still subscribe to speed tree. I'm pretty sure they didn't change that. Subscribe for a month or however long it takes you to make what you need. Then you can cancel your subscription, because once you've saved your tree files out, you can then use them. You don't need a subscription to use them, say in UE4. So you only need to subscribe for as long as it takes you to make them. Now that's pretty horrible there, the way it's done. It's unpacked. So let's undo that. Let's try the box one. Generally this sort of asset would be a box map anyway. or a box unwrap, I should say. You're very grateful. You're learning a lot. Well, good to hear. I'm glad you're getting use out of it, out of the tutorials. Because yeah, my Twitch, when I've been streaming on Twitch, I always tried to make what I do like a tutorial while I stream. So hopefully you guys not only get some entertainment out of watching me work, but you can use it to help you learn something as well. So Sniper Girl says, I mean nothing like person 1 today. I'm learning Metashape. Person 2, Metashape. Person 1, you know the program from Aggisoft. Person 2, oh no, you mean, right. Sniper Girl says, not really, was SpeedTree's choice to do it that way. Smurbury says, imagine if Adobe decided to rename Photoshop. There would be an outcry. People would be outraged. Those designers, you don't piss off designers, let me tell you. Adobe know better than to piss off designers. I'm just going to optimize this a little bit. It's just basically running the algorithm over the UV unwrap again and making sure it's optimized as best it can. You can see it working up here. Smurbury says, chaos, fire raining from the sky, cats and dogs also raining from the sky, cats and dogs sleeping together, total chaos in the world. Sniper Girl says, yeah, it would be funny as hell. I mean, they've been photoshopped for how long? Like 30 years, as Smurbury says. Vagrant says, well, way too much rent programs these days. Kind of killing it for people. I agree. I hate this rent to own crap that you have to go through now. You don't own your software anymore, you just lease it. I mean, that can be good for big organizations or people that only need to work on projects for like a short period of time. But you, me and Joe Blow next door who work with 3D all the time or who work with design, Photoshop, whatever it is. We don't want to have to rent our software, we want to own it. I mean, come on. None of this rental crap. It should be okay. So I agree with you, Vagrant. I don't like this rental business either. No, Sniper Girl's asking me if they're going to see the sides of the mesh. They're not. I could have actually deleted that face. I could have deleted the bottom and the back. If I really wanted to save some polys, I could do that. Because they're not going to see it. They're going to be hidden inside of those side columns. But because I'm creating a kit bash, I may give people the option of using the step on its own as well. So that's the only reason I'm going to keep it there. If I wasn't creating a kit bash, then I would delete those polygons because they're not needed. Smurbury says 29 years. Smurbury says first release of Photoshop was February 19, 1990. Wow. Sniper Girl says, yeah, want to own my software as well, so do I. Sniper Girl says, or at the very least, rent to own. I know, that's the problem. Because once you stop paying your Adobe subscription, that's it. You lose access to the software. Smurbury says, I'm okay with rent to own, where if I cancel my sub, it's basically like having a perpetual license for whatever version I was on at the time I cancelled. That's not true for Photoshop or any of the Adobe products. If you stop paying your subscription, you can't load your software up. It won't run without a subscription. Other companies do it differently, but Adobe don't. Sniper Girl says, why get rid of the sides and back then? Good reason, yeah, that's why. Yeah, because I'm going to use it as part of a kit bash. If I wasn't doing a kit bash, I'm going to send that back to Max. If I wasn't doing a kit bash, then I would remove them. Okay, I'm going to throw an unwrap UVW on this step. I'm going to turn off map seams and I'm going to open the editor to make sure it did transfer my UVs across, and because this is a new version of Max, I need to reset all of this up again. So I like to have my UV editor about that big. And I need to save current settings as defaults. There we go. So it'll remember that and always open it up to the same look. Let me copy that unwrap UVW so we can paste it on our other steps. And it looks good, and let's paste it on this one. And that looks good. So let us just get everything nice and organized. And do a quick save. Smurfberry says, yeah, Adobe doesn't do rent to own. No. Smurfberry says, Algorithmic is the only company that I'm aware of that does this, but Algorithmic are now owned by Adobe. So what do you think's coming, Smurfberry Barbecue? Now that Adobe have bought Algorithmic, I can guarantee you that that they're going to go the same way as every other piece of Adobe software, where you won't be renting to own anymore. I think that Algorithmic have guaranteed it the way it is for the next 12 months. But after 12 months, it's anybody's guess. And if I was to guess, I would say they're not going to be doing rent to own anymore. Because even ZBrush, you can rent ZBrush now, you don't have to buy it anymore. Sniper Girl says, yeah, but Adobe owns them now. No telling you how long they'll last. Great minds think alike. Yes, I know. Nightbot, chill. I agree, Smurfberry. Oh, Nightbot. Such a naughty little robot with a mind of its own. Where are we? So I think we've just about done all of the modeling now. I think we can jump into the texturing, although there is one piece left to do which I'd forgotten about, and I noticed it this morning when I was looking at the model. Under here, I put this ring under here, which needs to be chamfered and UV mapped, which will take all of like 2 minutes. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow, I think. We will finish that last piece, which, like I said, all it requires is a chamfer and a UVW map. But I think we'll leave it there for today, guys and girls. I do want to thank you all very much for hanging out with me, being here and watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back on again tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off here, finish the last piece of UV mapping for this model, and then we can start texturing it up. So tomorrow we're going to be doing texturing, because that last piece, like I said, it's only going to take me 2 minutes. So we're going to be jumping into Substance Painter tomorrow to do some texturing. No, don't leave us. I have to leave you, I'm afraid. I've got to do some stuff for the studio now, some work for the studio. But I do want to thank you. I really do appreciate it when you guys hang out with me here and watch. I'll be back on again tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see you guys and girls then. You guys take care and have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow. See you guys.